Oh boy! Hi friends! What's going on? Welcome back to Live at the Roxy. And I wonder if this is chopping my head off right now. The saga of Roxy doesn't know how to frame shit continues. Usually I'm pretty good at it, but sometimes, guys, I'm actually really excited about today's stream. I'm always excited about the streams, but I'm really excited about today's stream because uh, this, like, the amount of times I've talked about Ben Affleck being Batman and or leaving the Batman project has got to be upwards of, I'm going to try to give a realistic number. It has to be upwards of 1,000 times, because between talking about it on DC Movie News every single week for the last several years, and also talking about it with my friends or on Screen Junkies or SEN or Collider or here on this channel. I mean, just the amount of time that we have dedicated to figuring out what happened with this Ben Affleck leaving Batman saga. So I've kind of waited to do this stream to really dive into it with you guys, because there have been a few different articles and things that have talked about what happened there in the last 48 hours, and also about his divorce and his alcoholism and all that stuff. And also, as a Boston girl, I live for Ben Affleck. So I really want to break that all down today and kind of do that together, gather the information together and talk about it. And I'm curious your guys' thoughts on the situation. Also, that Westworld trailer dropped this morning for Westworld Season 3. I'm a really big Westworld fan. I love the show, and feels like it's been a long time since the past season, but this Season 3 trailer kind of felt like the end of a series, like the final season in a series. And I don't know if anybody else felt like that, but I really want to break down that trailer and talk about that as well. And then a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, we're going to get into Schmoedown stuff because it seems like there's trouble in paradise. A little bit of trouble in paradise. And I did watch The Masked Singer as well. So I'm obsessed with that show. Thank you to Dan Merle, who got me invested in it. So I want to talk about that. And those of you guys who told me this was the best week ever of Batwoman were totally right. Without a doubt, you guys were right. Batwoman was freaking incredible this week. Also, it's Love Your Pets Day. So I kind of wanted to, as my show and tell for the day, I wanted to talk about my history with pets and let you guys know about past pets of mine. You guys can share about your pets as well and all that great stuff. But before we get into any of those topics, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It means a lot to me. We have over 50 people watching live right now and 28 thumbs up. So let's get those thumbs going. Oh, also, I have not tweeted yet, so there we go with the Twitter. Don't forget to tell a friend that we are live with this stream. That would be great if you guys could grow the Rockstars band by telling your friends. If you cannot financially support me, that is the best way to support me, by telling your friends, growing the band, putting your thumbs up in here, subscribing. We're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers by March 1st for a Matrix watch along. We're at 19.6 right now. I don't know if we're going to make it, guys, but hashtag Rockstars. Let's see if we can do it. It depends on how bad you guys want me to see The Matrix, I guess. I'm kind of okay with it either way. Although I really would like to get to 20,000 subscribers. And also streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. That is the best way to financially support me right now. I really, really appreciate any love going over there. We already have some love coming there right now that I'm going to start the show off with. But again, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar, or right here in the super chat works as well. Let's go over to the Streamlabs, starting with Weston Ira, who, one of my favorite things about Streamlabs is you guys can donate at any time, or you can support at any time. It doesn't have to be during a live show. So Weston Ira, between yesterday's show and today's show, posted and said, do you think the Schmoedown will ever have a video game division? So for anybody who doesn't know what that's talking about, the Schmoedown, of course I'm vocal about it here on the stream, but it's I call it my fantasy sports. I love Schmoedown. I'm a manager in a movie trivia league, and they're asking if there will ever be a video game division. So instead of movie trivia, if there would be video game trivia. I don't know. People have asked a lot more about TV trivia than video game trivia. I think it would be easier to have video game trivia than TV trivia because just the sheer amount of video games versus TV shows and episodes and stuff like that. But I don't know if that's in something Christian's interested in. Probably if he was to franchise this and start doing other things, TV would be the next one. But I could see him doing like a video game one-off, or I don't know if about a whole league, but maybe down the line. It depends what Skybound has in mind as well. Glenn Caesar in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. Glenn Caesar, the most generous person on the planet. Hey Roxy, happy Thursday. Looking forward to today's show and eventually figuring out what you, Steph, and Darina are doing with the green mustaches. Just wanted to say, keep being yourself, awesome self. Love you, Roxy. Hashtag Rockstars. P.S. Check out SEN Live today. I didn't see SEN Live today. Why are you telling me to check it out, Glenn? I'm curious on that. Also, again, if we can today, yesterday it was 150 in the Streamlabs and the thumbs up. If we can do 175 today, got a one up yesterday, I'll show you guys another small hint about what we're working on. Another small hint about what we are doing if you guys get to 175 today for the thing that Steph Sabra, Darina Ariano, and myself are working on. If you want another small hint, 175 in both places. Let's see if we can do it. Jake Yakavetta in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. Please tell me you watched or heard the part of SEN today when Finstock called in and it sounded like the Finstock exchange might have some problems. Jake, I did not watch or hear that, but I have been getting tagged in a lot of different things. So you guys kind of break down for me what happened. But I did see Roka's like big, massive post on it. And I would love to hear, I'm going to listen to that part of SEM, but I'm not surprised, honestly. I'm not surprised that the exchange is having some problems, or the Finstock exchange. You've got 4 massive personalities and competitors in Riley, Bateman, Roka, and Merle. And from the beginning, I don't think Finstock has handled this well. We saw that in the draft. I don't think he has as much respect for all of his players, or equal respect for his players. So that's kind of crappy. And also, I don't think he does the best job managing them. That's what a manager needs to do. Just because you have champions doesn't make you a manager. So I've said it once, I'll say it twice, I'll say it a bajillion times. He's not the best manager, and the cracks are really starting to show. And I saw this coming. And I think that we'll continue to have cracks and have issues until one or more of them leave the exchange. And I don't think that that's too far down the line. I don't even think we're going to wait till the end of the year for that to happen. I think it will probably happen much sooner. Kyle Petrano in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. Hey, today on SEN, 4th round Roka said he could be on the Rockstars by the end of the season, saying he would want you to be his manager. That's awesome. I love Roka. I would be honored to be his manager. And yeah, I mean, it's very interesting. It's interesting. We'll see what happens over there. I'm not shocked with Finstock's inability to be the best, even though he has 4 of the best. It should be a layup for him, but he can't handle it. Which is great. And Roka, you are always welcome. I've got a spot on my team for you anytime. Anytime you want to come over, you know that you're wanted. Yeah, Jake Yakavetta, my amazing moderator in here right now, reminding people to hit that thumbs up button. Paul Denuzio, also amazing moderator in here right now, keeping everybody in line. Thank you guys for being my mods and being in here. And thank you for everybody joining live right now. 80 people watching live with 55 thumbs up. So let's get those thumbs going. And also streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar for any questions, comments, concerns, etc. you have throughout the stream. Or feel free to super chat as well. Let's grow this Rockstar army, or band. See, I still say army because freaking Action Army. Rockstar's band, baby. Rockstar's band, baby. Jake Yakob had a cheap plug, but Finstock will be also on Riley Roundtable tonight at 5 p.m. And I'm sure the story will get deeper. Wouldn't be surprised. I should have Finstock come over here. Let's see how he does over here. Dark Faith 66 in the super chat. Roxy, you devil. Roca has 1 foot in the rock stars. You just gotta get him to have both feet. Sipping tea. Sipping tea. It was an issue from day one. From the moment that he decided that he was going to unnecessarily call Roca fourth. Effed up. Super effed up. Yeah, this is my Wonder Woman coffee mug. So let's start, guys. We will get to the Affleck stuff, but just wanted to start with Pet Day. Love your pet day. I don't know if any of you guys in here are big pet lovers, supporters, etc. But it is hashtag love your pet day. And I currently have no pets. And it's actually, so since I moved to LA, it was the first time in my life that I had no pets. Growing up, we had so many pets. And I'll run through them all with you. But leave comments in here about your pets, Streamlabs, Super Chat, all of that about your pets. I want to know. For Love Your Pet Day, are you celebrating someone? Are you missing someone? So just for, again, my show and tell, this white is pissing me off. They have to go away for now, I think. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, roses. Still in the corner. They're okay over there. So I had, growing up, from when I was born, I had a dog named Muggsy. Muggsy was a Shar-Pei, so you know those really fucking wrinkly dogs? Like, with the rolls on rolls on rolls. Muggsy was the sweetest dog ever. I absolutely adored Muggsy. And it was my first, like, I love you, this is my pet. Muggsy died when I was 7, and it was the same year that my grandfather died, my dad's dad. And I remember just, like, learning about death through my grandfather and my dog, and having that be like so fucking weird, and trying to figure out, like, do they go to the same place? Like, why are we burying grandpa but we're spreading ashes of a dog? Just like all of the things, trying to figure it out. And yeah, but that was, Muggsy was a really, really hard hit. We also had 3 cats growing up at the time. Kitty, Kismet, and Elvis. And I remember that I thought that Kitty and Kismet were the same cat for many, many years. I don't know how that's fucking possible, considering they didn't look much alike. But, you know, when you're a little kid and there are cats running around, one of them was a black cat, that was Elvis, and 2 of them were like more, they didn't look a lot alike, like now I would be able, but they were similar looking ish. So I thought that Kitty and Kismet, I thought Kitty was a nickname, like, here kitty kitty, for Kismet. It wasn't until later in my life that I learned that they were 2 different cats, when one of them died and the other one was still there. I never was very close with Kitty and Kismet, clearly. So then I had Elvis and Muggsy, but then Muggsy died, and I had Kismet and Elvis. Then we got Chewy. So only like 2 weeks after Muggsy died, which is not a good idea, we got a new dog named Chewy, who was a soft-coated Wheaten Terrier. And Chewy was a problem dog from day one. Chewy got hit by a car twice, despite us having a fence, an electric fence, always watching Chewy, always having her on a leash. She got in fights with way larger dogs. Soft-coated Wheaten Terriers are sheep herders, so she just like was a nightmare dog. And because we didn't really mourn the loss of Muggsy, it was too soon to get another dog. But we did love Chewy, but she was a problem. Like, we couldn't take her anywhere. She was just an issue all the time. And so at this point, Kitty and Kismet have gone, Muggsy is gone, so we have Chewy and Elvis. Chewy short for Chewbacca, obviously. We were a Star Wars family. And Chewy and Elvis, like, couldn't stand each other. Straight up. Could not stand each other. And that was brutal, too. Living, you know, they fought like cats and dogs. Towards the end, they got along more. And Chewy did die relatively young. I think she was like 10 or 11. And it was really, really sad, but it was also like she was the embodiment of live fast, die young. She was just like always trying to live. It was a really sweet dog. And Elvis lived until he was 22. And at the end, my dad had a person come into the house 3 times a week to do an IV drip with Elvis because he was so old, but it was like my dad's best friend and my dad would not let go. And so we did like everything we could to keep Elvis alive. Elvis was named Elvis, by the way, because my dad found him. My dad used to be a concert promoter, and on my dad's, like one of the, he promoted and owned this country club, and I guess there was 9 cats there one day in winter. It was freezing outside, below zero, and it had snowed. There was snow on the ground, and there was 9 cats, and 8 of them were left. 9 of them were left there. 8 of them were dead, frozen in the snow, and 1 of them was there, still alive, shaking. It was a kitten, and it was Elvis Presley's birthday. So my dad took the cat, and rescued it, and named him Elvis, and then had him for 22 more years, which is just fucking wild. Elvis was like the animal. And we also had fish growing up, a ton of fish. We had a whole tank of fish, and then I had my own Japanese fighting fish, I think is what it was called, and for 4 years. And we had a bird. Have I told you guys about Sonny yet at all? Does anybody know about Sonny? Send bunnies if you've heard about Sonny the bird. Because Sonny is like a fucking wild story. And I'll get into that in a second. But first, thank you guys to everybody in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. Shout out to PLD, Paul Denuzio, yeah. He says that trailer was amazing. Ed Harris saying, I'm going to save the fucking world over the sweet child of mine. Piano, major fist bump. How does Harris not have an Oscar or Emmy? So we'll definitely be talking about that. PLD, we'll definitely be talking about that trailer. PLD also in the Streamlabs again, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar says, it's okay, you can admit to us your Grandmaster plan, work with Ben to break up the Horsemen and work towards creating the Rockstar Action Army by reforming Team Action and the Rockstars. Cue Still Dre. I don't want to hear Still Dre Still Bad. I wish that we still had the fucking rights to use some music, some intro music. Although I never liked the Odd Couple intro. But Paul Nuzio, we will certainly be talking about all of that stuff as well on today's stream. PLD. Also, guys, don't forget to thumbs up. 90 people watching live right now, 72 thumbs up. So let's get those going. Subscribe, 20,000 subscribers. We'll do a Matrix watch along by March 1st. Okay, so a lot of bunnies. But for those of you guys who don't know about Sonny the bird. So Sonny was a bird that Sonny was a cockatiel, and my dad got Sonny for my little sister for her birthday one year, which like is an aggressive present to get a kid because birds live theoretically for like, this kind of bird I think lives for like 30 years or something. I don't even know. Let's see. How long do cockatiels live? All right, now this is saying it's not impossible for cockatiels to live more than 30 years. 15 years is the average. Okay, so they live a long time. Sonny did not live as long. Sonny did not live as long. We have theories about what happened, but my dad is like the kind of, he's a bodybuilder and rock star, so he's like ripped and like all rock and rolly, but he would not hurt a fly. He's the kind of person who takes a bug outside and saves it. If there's a spider, he brings it outside on a cup or a piece of paper or whatever. So when it came time to clip Sonny's wings, which is what you do when you have a bird, my dad was like, I don't want to clip his wings. That doesn't seem right. Sonny should be able to fly. So it started by us giving Sonny a room in the house. So Sonny got Sonny's own room. It was a small room, and it was Sonny's. My dad called it the aviary, and so this room had a cage in it, but it was open, and there was food in it, and like toys and whatever. It was all for fucking Sonny. Bizarre shit, but like gotta love my dad. And then my dad was like, this is not right. This is not right. The bird needs to be able to fly more places than just this room. We have to give Sonny access to every room in the house. So for 7 years, Sonny just lived in the house. Anywhere Sonny wanted. Sonny shit where Sonny wanted. Sonny ate where Sonny wanted. Sonny chirped when Sonny wanted. Sonny bit your face when Sonny wanted. Sonny just lived in the house. And then one day Sonny started laying eggs all around the house, by the way. That was interesting. And then one day Sonny died. And we have theories about what happened, but we think it was cleaning supplies. We think Sonny got into some cleaning supplies kind of thing. So I feel bad because the bird died, but also Sonny made my life a living fucking hell and like woke me up at fucking 5 a.m. every day and would come like bite me and chirp and flap and like scare anybody I was with, or like, you know, if I like had friends over or a boyfriend or whatever. Sonny was so fucking annoying. Because you're not supposed to just have a bird living in your house. That's like psycho shit. And all my friends were like, and also shitting everywhere, disgusting, and the cleaning was just gross, fucking gross, gross as fucking gross. Everywhere. Sonny went fucking everywhere. Ben Goddard in the house, everyone, right now. Ben, you've had an entertaining week on SEN, I hear. I heard that there's maybe some faction wars going on, or inter-faction turmoil with the exchange. People are filling me in on this right now. Ben said where the comfy pillows go. I moved from the couch to the table because until I get better equipment, which I still probably will set up at the table even when I do now, but until I get the mic and like all that shit, people were saying that over there was harder to hear and it didn't look as clean. So now we're at my kitchen table, which doesn't have the comfy pillows, but I could still bring them over here and just like sit them in this chair next to me. Ben, this chair is for you next week whenever you come on the show. Ben and I are trying to figure out when he can come on. It's been nice having more guests. I had Ben Bateman come last week, and I had Dorina come. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to have Goddard come on the show. This Sunday, Steph Sabra's coming on the show. So don't forget, guys. 175 in the Streamlabs and 175 in the thumbs up category if you want another hint on what Dorina, Steph, and I are working on. Ben Goddard said Finstock Exchange is coming down like a house of cards. Yay! I don't know if the yay is in regards to coming on the show or if the yay is in regards to the exchange coming down like a house of cards, but to me it's kind of yay on both of those. Because fuck yeah for both those. And he did it to himself. Tom did it to himself. It's just, when you mismanage, it's hard to keep things going. And that's on him for not knowing how to deal with people properly or manage a movie trivia team faction. Remember that time you didn't know Emily Rose's name? Cool. Me too. So excited to see her in Atlanta. Speaking of Atlanta, anybody in here going to Atlanta for the Schmoedown? That is coming not this weekend, but the following weekend. Ben and Dan Merle are going to be playing each other for that singles belt, though. That singles belt. And my guy Alex Damon, thank you, Ben Goddard, for the high praise and recommendation. Not that Damon needed it, because he's a stud. And Emily Rose Jacobson will be playing each other in IG. Who's going to be there? Jake Yacovetta says he'll be in Atlanta. Paul Nuzio, you have FOMO? You're not going to fucking be there? What? Will McLean says he's going to be there. Hashtag Action House. Oh. Lucas Shashak says, I don't know. Every time I say Shashak, then Ben corrects me and tells, Ben Bateman corrects me. Is it Shashak? Hell yeah, I'll be in Atlanta. That's dope. I'm glad to see a few people in here that will be in Atlanta. Anybody who's not going to be there, there's still time. There's still time. Matt Link says if only, but we'll be at Free For All. That's dope too. Free For All is going to be freaking awesome. Right now I'm fighting tooth and nail for my people to be involved. It's tough. It's a highly competitive league this year, guys. Highly competitive league. 3 hours away, but we'll be in New York City, unfortunately. Juan Torres, what the hell? Lucas says, I'm not 100% sure that Ben is a good authority on how to pronounce my name. Shashak. Okay, I got it. Nah, guess who's back? Back here again. Shashak's back. Tell a friend. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar, guys. Don't forget to support if you're having a good day, week, month, or even year. Shout out to Brandy, my amazing mod, who's joining us live right now. And let's get into this big story of the day, the Ben Affleck stuff, guys. Now, I know this has been going on for the last couple of days, and actually this has been going on for the last couple of months, but it feels like every day there's a new thing on it, so I did want to break this down. And then, of course, don't worry, I will get to Westworld Season 3, that trailer, though. And I feel like I have a different viewpoint on it than a lot of people. Not that I didn't love it, because I did, but just a little concerned and confused about some things, so I want to talk about that. But starting with this Ben Affleck situation. So, more news this week about why he was not, why he stepped away from Batman, and also more news about what was going on with his divorce. And I just want to unfold all of this together. There's a massive New York Times piece that said Ben Affleck tried to drink away the pain. Now he's trying honesty. That was the title of this piece that came out on February 18th and was updated on February 19th, so the last couple of days. They put a warning at the top that says that these are not one of the celebrity profiles that uses a teaspoon of new information to flavor a barrel of ancient history. There's no paragraph where the star and writer pretend to be pals, gag, while doing an everyday person activity. What was everyone eating? Who cares? No, you will not get served the obligatory canned quote from Matt Damon. This is Ben Affleck, raw and vulnerable. So they talk a lot about, they talk a lot about a lot of things. People with compulsive behavior. So he's talking about rehab and all of that stuff. And he says, people with compulsive behavior, and I am one, have this kind of basic discomfort all the time that they're trying to make go away. You're trying to make yourself feel better with eating or drinking or sex or gambling or shopping or whatever, but that ends up making your life worse. Then you do more of it and that to make that discomfort go away. Then the real pain starts. It becomes a vicious cycle you can't break. That's at least what happened to me. I drank relatively normally for a long time. What happened was I started drinking more and more when my marriage was falling apart. This was 2015, 2016. My drinking, of course, created more marital problems. The biggest regret of my life is this divorce. Shame is really toxic. There's no positive byproduct of shame. It's just stewing in a toxic, hideous feeling of low self-worth and self-loathing. So just pausing for a second to break that stuff down, because first of all, it fucking sucks when you regret things. That sounds miserable, and having an addictive personality, which I will say I fall into that category sometimes, fucking sucks. Now, not to the extent that he does, but it's very, very hard when you have that personality trait to stop the cycle. And I like that he named a lot of different specific areas. You know, it wasn't just about the drinking, but eating, drinking, sex, gambling, shopping, like all of those things. And people talk about moderation, but it's true. All of those things, when put together, when pinned together like that, can be really fucking toxic and dangerous. And I'm glad he's opening up about that, because I think with a lot of these situations, the only way out is through. And he's not out yet. He's working on going through, and I think that a lot of people can relate to this. And yeah, like Matt Lincoln here says, very relatable statement. I agree. I think it's very relatable and heartbreaking. He says, it's not particularly healthy for me to obsess over the failures, the relapses, and beat myself up. I have certainly made mistakes. I have certainly done things I regret, but you've got to pick yourself up, learn from it, learn some more, try to move forward. The stuff about the divorce is really hard to also grapple with, because we've seen over the years that she still has so much love for him and he has so much love for her, but sometimes it's not enough, and it doesn't make enough of a difference, and sometimes you've gone too far and she's moved forward in a different direction, and I don't know, that's really, really hard to stomach. It must be, at least I can only assume. This one, talking more about Hassan Ben Affleck, is still the kind of guy who broke Garner's heart and who was accused of groping a talk show host in 2003. He said, quote, I acted inappropriately and I sincerely apologize. That's talking about, well, you guys know, any kind of Me Too stuff that's gone on in his past. This kind of goes over a lot of the different things that he's worked on, different things he's filmed. Now mentioning the Batman. He says, okay, let's read this. Africa in 1900 is a long way from Batman, which Affleck was supposed to direct himself. He stepped aside, allowing Matt Reeves to take over and Robert Pattinson to don the cowl after deciding that the troubled shoot for Justice League had sapped his interest. Affleck never seemed to enjoy his time as Batman. His sullen demeanor while promoting Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice in 2016 resulted in the hit meme Sad Affleck. Quote, I showed somebody the Batman script, Affleck recalled. They said, I think the script is good. I also think you'll drink yourself to death if you go through. So then I can't even imagine that. He says relapsing is embarrassing, obviously. I wish it didn't happen. I really wish it wasn't on the internet for my kids to see. Jen and I did our best to address it and be honest. Then he goes on to talk about growing up in Massachusetts. He saw his own drunk father almost every day, and he said, quote, my dad didn't really get sober until I was 19. Furthermore, I don't know what I have anything to really add or say that hasn't been said already and better by people who have been personally victimized or who are survivors of what he did. I was talking about Harvey Weinstein that they started getting into. The older I've gotten, the more I recognize that my dad did the best he could. There's a lot of alcoholism and mental illness in my family. The legacy of that is quite powerful and sometimes hard to shake. Also, Casey Affleck, we know, has spoken about his alcoholism and sobriety many times in the past as well. And I didn't know this, but apparently an uncle of Ben Affleck's killed himself with a shotgun. His aunt was a heroin addict. Sorry, I think did you guys just lose me for a minute, a second? Hopefully I'm back. Said that I don't know where you guys lost me, but I was talking about his family, his uncle killing himself with a shotgun, his aunt being a heroin addict, and just continuing to go through this New York Times piece. It froze because I guess my internet is cutting in and out. Sorry, I don't really know why that is happening, but yeah. He says, it took me a long time to fundamentally, deeply, without a hint of doubt, admit to myself that I'm an alcoholic. the next drink will not be different. I think that's a really big one for anybody who has had alcoholics in their life, or alcohol, or is struggling with alcoholism or drinking in general. It is that when you look at people who are struggling with alcohol, sometimes they don't even know to what extent, or they really do believe that it will be different next time. And that is the part of this that is an illness, because, you know, people are unable to change until at least they can identify what's going on. And as somebody who's had a lot of people with a lot of addicts in my life in the past, and I've talked about this I think I've talked about this on here before, but the first person that I ever slept with, and he was my boyfriend, and like the first real person that I was into, it was and is a heroin addict. You're always an addict, and he's been a user for over a decade, and wouldn't even consider himself an addict still. So that gets really, really challenging. It's really challenging dealing with alcoholism or any kind of drug addiction. So I can when Ben's talking about this, I sympathize, I empathize, I feel for him in a lot of different ways, and thinking about those regrets, and then like not drowning yourself in them so that you're still trying to move forward. So it kind of is no wonder to me that he was unable to continue with this Batman role, especially with all of the stuff that had gone on in his own life. And then you guys remember the fucking meme gif and the whole "hello darkness my old friend" thing, and just like over and overkill on the internet. Just a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, I feel for him. So anyway, all this stuff, and then other articles continuing to come out talking about Ben Affleck. Like, even I was seeing all of the like In Touches of the world, you know. So In Touch, they did 10 years of marriage and 3 kids later, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner's relationship timeline, and they were talking all about that. I think a lot of people still like hold out hope for the two of them, which is a challenging thing to do. Fox News did one saying Ben Affleck thanks ex-wife Jennifer Garner for being thoughtful, considerate, responsible in a public note. So, yeah, I guess on Good Morning America, that was today, he said, "I really don't want my children to pay for my sins." And then he opened up to Diane Sawyer about his sobriety battle and how his dad's addiction to alcohol taught him how important it is for him to be sober. Oh, the whole aspect of having kids too. It's just like, that's a lot. Oh, wait, what's happening? I'm not here? What's happening? Let's see. Did I fix it? Hello? Tell me if I'm back.